doing Zoom meetings with owners and contractors, and well, like I said, we've done the best we can, but the majority of people for a long time did not allow us or did not want us in their residence. Therefore, we weren't getting inspections done.
Is that just rentals or all inspections?
Pretty much most inspections. So we still went into houses with masks and gloves. Same thing within commercial places. So during COVID, they actually shut down construction for a time. So between all that, it put a big dampening in our revenue.
So that's just not the rentals, that's plumbing, electrical, everything.
Yes.
So
All inspections.
how do you sign off on an inspection then? We can't see it.
So we eventually did get to them. Like for the permit, for like building permits from our MEPs, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing permits. We took care of that. We got through that. A lot of that was done during Zoom, but again, you can't do a Zoom meeting. Well, honestly, you can't. It was very hard doing Zoom meetings when people aren't going to show you what they want to show you. Hey, look, we're here for just people in compliance and to clean up our city by all means. So it's typically it was you would not show on your camera per se a thing that was in violation, obviously. So roll past. It was entertaining somewhat.
Are we better going forward now?
We are. So now we've got, and thanks to you guys, that we've got more call center folks that we're hired in, and that helps us on preparing for setting up inspections for our rental program, our apartment complexes, all that stuff. The call center schedules all that work for us, as well as inspections on a daily basis.
One more question. Heritage Glen?
Yes.
Are we getting in there and inspecting, or are we still fighting?
We are. No, we're good with them now. No more search warrants. I'm so happy about it. So, yeah.
Thank you.
So looking at your revenue projection, I can see that 2020 and 2021 you were down 300,000, 400,000 from the previous year. So you hit your high water mark there in 2019 at roughly about 2.3 million. It appears that you beat the budget closer to the 2018. So do you feel comfortable going forward with the budget amount?
Yes, we're ready for the, it's summertime out and we're ready to get back out there in full swing of things. I mean, really, we're looking forward to it. It's great for everything. Morale, people happy to get outside and look at something that's not blight and whatnot. So we're looking forward to really getting out and getting the budget going on that.
Through the chair, Jesse, does everybody have their laptops? Everybody can do their work now?
We have some outdated equipment. I'm not going to say that we don't. It's very outdated. We've got our tough books are near 15 years old, and I think we all know that stuff like that needs to be updated. I think we're crossing our fingers on getting a system in here with the software that I think the mayor and you guys are working with, where we can
pay for that, right?
Through the chair, I believe that Jason, that's budgeted, right? Because I think to tell you that what we're doing right now is, that department is really lacking technology. The inspectors don't have computers. We're doing that right now. We're getting phones at it. That's part of the scheduling as well, because we want them to be able to have input on how long it's going to take something. So, and then we're also in the process of ordering either. I'm not sure if it's not in here, which I think it is. If not, it's definitely an ARPA situation that we're going to definitely move forward, because the building department is really lacking.
It is in there.
Computer stuff. If you look at line 761 on page 45, it was budgeted for 22, didn't happen in 22. We know that the reasons there, but it was carried forward to 23. So you got $26,250.
Yeah, that's a number for the equipment that we're looking for. Yes.
One last question.
Yes.
Jason, isn't this fund, you're not supposed to carry a huge balance in it. What's that caveat?
It's, they call it the Bolt Act, right? With these services, the city has to charge an appropriate fee for the services being rendered, because if the city overcharges, then they would call it a violation of the Bolt Act or an unfair tax, because this is a fund that's not supported by tax, it's supported by fees. So the city just can't go out and say, you know what, we're going to increase our building fees by 400%, and then use that to offset some other funding somewhere else. That's a violation of the Bolt Act. So yes, you want to keep a good fund balance for any type of emergencies, but having too much of a fund balance, someone could argue that point. So.
So is there a threshold? That's a good question. The budget's 2.3 million. You have keeping 10% or 20%?
The general rule of thumb is between 15 and 30% of your total revenues or total expenditures, however you want to look at it. But also keep in mind the dollar amount, right? Sometimes 20% could be maybe 100,000, but if something goes really wrong, you may need more than that in your fund balance. But in this particular case, I would say 20% would be a good key to get to, but again, we're below that threshold obviously right now, so.
And looking at the overhead expenses, that seems to be going up as well. Is that personnel or?
Yeah, what the overhead cost is the cost allocations from the city's general fund related to the building department. For example, a large number in that is the customer assistance center. A portion of their budget comes through the building department because those other personnel who are doing all the scheduling for the building department. So what happens is the customer assistance center is a department in our general fund. So I forget the percentage at the top of my head, but maybe 10% of that department is allocated to the building department. So what it is that in the building department fund, you see this overhead cost, and then in the general fund, you see a revenue coming in from the building department to offset those costs. And there's other ancillary amounts in there too. There's retiree healthcare cost, that's part of that cost. Pension is part of that cost. You don't see those separate line items on the building fund, department fund. They're all in that overhead cost.
And that includes fuel and vehicles too.
Yeah, the vehicle maintenance department in the general fund, absolutely.
Thank you.
Vehicles, gas, all that.
Councilman?
From your perspective, would it be better if you had your own in-house person answering your phones to handle your city resident council?
To be honest with you, I think I would like that. Just being the mere fact, it's hard to handle a lot of people there's a lot of people that are touching plans per se, or giving information. It's a lot of information. The call center is like, they're so knowledgeable about so much stuff, it's unbelievable. They're multitaskers. So I wouldn't want their job for anything, to be totally honest with you. But, you can't, plans come in, and this particular person that's up at the front counter is dealing with that person. Now, next week, somebody else is going to roll into her chair. It makes it hard to find out where she left off and where somebody else needs to pick up. And that's like a downfall of what I've seen over the years of having a call center.
What manpower would you need to handle that task?
So we kind of talked about even if we can get a clerk. At one time when I started here, we had probably 3 or 4 clerks that just worked primarily for the building department. We had filing system back then, so we had, one person pretty much would take care of filing, but everything else for scheduling and whatnot, it's a full team of, it's a big operation. It really is a big operation.
Do you foresee us having more difficulties in that respect going forward with the incoming flux of new businesses in the city? New developments and so on and so forth.
There is. We got some nice, good-sized projects that are coming into our city right now. I mean, it's like a lot of stuff. I try not to hold my breath. Don't count your chickens before they hatch, per se. But I'm looking at it. I think our city is doing good. I mean, I really think our city is it's a win-win.
Well, my point is, if we have someone calling in and asking questions about the various things within your department, and they're on hold, and they're the 45th person in the queue to be
Yeah.
answered, that doesn't paint a very good picture from my perspective of who we are and what we have to offer.
Right, I totally not disagreeing with you. I personally would not want to pick up a phone, try to call and get some kind of information and have to wait 45 minutes. And it does happen. Why? It just happens. There's an overwhelming, there's an abundance of phone calls that come in. I think Brenda could probably tell you more about that. But now we've got some more call center people that just got hired, hopefully it's gonna help. Whether it's gonna solve problems of somebody calling in and saying, now you gotta wait instead of 40 minutes, and now you gotta wait 10, 15 minutes, I don't know, time will tell, by all means. Hopefully not. I'm that person that don't wanna be on the phone for 5 minutes, waiting for something, or somebody.
Can we schedule inspections online yet?
We can.
That's my biggest issue, going through the call center to ask for the inspector to come out, you know?
We're hoping for that to happen.
You know, it just,
Yes.
yeah, let's go here, you know?
True.
I have to have it within 24 hours.
Through the chair, that is being addressed currently at